So this video will be really short. What we're going to do in this video is show you how to make a technical drawing, technical diagram, from a 3D design that you've made in Onshape. Now, this is really important if you are a engineer, industrial designer, draftsman, etc. Anyone who works in the design field making technical objects, because you need this to send off to a manufacturer so they know how big the object you want to manufacture is and all that kind of information. For us, it's just a nice thing to have. When you get assessed on your finished product, we'll be assessing you in part on the quality of the finished product, but also quite a bit on your portfolio evidence, how well you've documented the process you went through to design your part, manufacture it, test it, etc. So having a technical drawing is one nice little way of doing that. So once you've got an existing design, like the doorstop we did in the previous video, we can go over to here in our parts list. We've only got one part here, that's our doorstop. We can right click, go to where it says create drawing, and from there we can have a bit of a play around. We'll use the existing template. We will go to the 4 views here. We'll press OK. And if you give it a couple of seconds, it'll generate a picture. So that's what we've got so far. It's going to need a little bit of work though, because it's a little bit too small and we don't have any. You'll see in a second the dimensions are in inches rather than millimeters, so it needs a bit of work. But what we have here is a view of our doorstop from the top, the side, a 3-dimensional view, and from the back. So that's the knob we can see there. At the moment, it's a 1:3 scale. So what that means is, if you printed this page out, the object here would be 1/3 the size of the actual object we created if you 3D printed that object off. So that's probably a little bit too small. We might try doing 1:2. That looks okay. 1:1 is probably going to be too big to fit on the page. Yeah. So we'll just do a 1:2. That's big enough that we can see it properly without being so big that it takes up all of the space. So we'll say OK for that. We can edit these text boxes to put titles and stuff in. I'm not going to do that today just because I don't want to make the video too long. But an important thing to put in are dimensions, so the viewer knows how big everything is. So the dimensions are pretty simple. You go up to here where you got dimension, looks exactly the same as the dimension tool when we're working in a part studio. And then you just click there, and that gives you the dimensions of the doorstop. You'll notice there it says 4.72. It's a weird number. That's because this is set to inches rather than millimeters. That's another thing we have to change as well. So we can just get out of that dimension tool for a second. Right click anywhere here, go to where it says drawing properties. When it says units and precision, let's set our units from inches to millimeters. And now it looks much better. Now it says 120. So that's kind of what we want. Okay. So from there, now we can put in some other dimensions. So we might put the distance from there to there as being 40. We could put in the distance from the center, the end of the doorstop to the center of the circle as being 19.6. We could put in the height of the doorstop from there to there. That's 25. And we could put in the height of the little wedgie bit here as being 4. That's probably enough. Oh, we probably just need the circumference of the circle as well. So it's a 10 centimeter diameter circle. Sorry, radius rather. R stands for radius. So that sort of shows us all of the relevant dimensions that someone would need to know if they wanted to, manufacture your design or something like that. So once I've done that, I'm trying to remember, can I save this as a picture or something? Can't remember. Anyway, here we go. Yeah, so you can, nope. Okay, I'm not sure if you can save it as a picture or not, but you can definitely do a screenshot, snip the screenshot, and then put that into your portfolio of evidence. So that's a nice little quick way that you can do a technical drawing that you can put in your portfolio of evidence that shows the various dimensions of your 3D design. And if you want to get back to your other stuff, this is part of the existing document we were working on before. So the Part Studio, where we do our sketches and then turn them into 3D designs, that's down the bottom here, so I can click on that. Our technical drawing is over here, Part 1, Drawing 1. And then also down the bottom you have this thing called assembly. Now assembly is when you've got a complex design made out of multiple parts, and you're going to construct the parts separately, but you want to see whether they fit together properly. You can basically take these parts and move them together in 3 dimensions and see if they fit or not. That we will cover in another video. So there'll be another video that looks specifically at how to create assemblies in Onshape, which is a good way of making sure everything fits together in your design before you manufacture it or 3D print it or whatever. Alright, so that'll be in the next video.